What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Blab. I appreciate you stopping by. Without further ado, let's blab before we hop into it. Get in on the ground floor of Blab. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Almost at 300 subscribers. I appreciate you all. So as you can see by the title and the thumbnail, today we are talking about liquidity, specifically liquidity within Pokemon. But before we hop into that, what is liquidity exactly? So for me, I think of liquidity as how quickly you can turn an asset into fiat currency, right? Almost all businesses, if not all businesses, public and private, accept USD inside of the United States. They don't all accept Bitcoin. They don't all accept gold. They don't accept booster boxes. You need USD to transact in America. I know a lot of people think Bitcoin, eventually Bitcoin will get there. Maybe it's Ethereum, whatever. But at this point right now, you need USD to transact, to make purchases, to make investments, right? So liquidity is just how quickly you can move an asset into USD, at least in the United States. If you're in a different country, how quickly can you move an asset into the currency of that country, right? And for a lot of investments, stocks, Bitcoin, things of that nature, you click a button and almost instantaneously, the fiat currency appears in your wallet, in your bank account, ready to be used, ready to be transacted. Okay? So inherently, stocks and Bitcoin and online assets have a lot quicker liquidity, or just are more liquid, than physical assets, like Pokemon. So, Pokemon is comparatively illiquid, given that you need to find a buyer, whether that be on Facebook, whether that be on eBay, whether that be face-to-face in person, if you're meeting up with somebody, if you're going to a show, if you're going to a local card store. It takes more effort and it takes more time to actually move a product. Now, are there exceptions to this? Sure. If I had Surging Sparks booster boxes and I'm willing to sell them for $100, could I find a buyer on any of those platforms within 15 minutes? 100%. 100%, that's true. But if you want to sell something at market price, which is what you sell stock at, what you sell cryptocurrency at, well, if you want to get, really in the weeds, you're selling it at a very small fraction below the market price or the hammer price, whatever. You're selling them at market price. If you want to sell, let's say, a Surging Sparks booster box, and you go to an LGS store, they're immediately going to give you a haircut, 75, maybe 80% cash, right? They're willing to give you that fiat currency, but they're only going to give you 80% of the market value of the product. Now, most of the time, they'll actually beat you over the head because not only are they giving you 75 or 80%, but they're also going to give you a market price that is the lowest they can find, whether that be TCG Player, eBay, Collector, Shiny, whatever app has the lowest price for whatever Pokemon product, that's going to be their quote-unquote market price. So you're getting beat over the head, you're getting 70%, and like I said, there are pros and cons to the actual liquidity of Pokemon overall, not being where, Bitcoin or stocks are at. One of them is it becomes very sticky in a way. So there's tons of, ETFs or penny stocks or meme coins, all of those things that the actual asset can drop 50% in a matter of minutes, in a matter of days. It is very difficult for, say, a Surging Sparks booster box or a Lost Origins booster box to literally lose 50% of its market value within a day, within a few minutes, right? Even when a restock comes out or some sort of resupply. Is it a reprint? Is it a restock? Is it vending machines? Is it big box? Whatever. Even when that happens, at most you're seeing, 10, 15%, 20% coming off of all-time highs. Now, these are coming off of all-time highs too, right? So it's like, it hasn't been a sideways market. Now we get reprints and it's crashing even more. We're coming off of all-time highs. So that is a positive, right? It's a little bit more sticky in Pokemon. I do believe one of the negatives is, one, the more expensive a product is in Pokemon, the less liquid it becomes in general. Again, are there exceptions? Sure. But the pool of buyers in the Pokemon hobby, whether they be a hobbyist, an investor, whoever, the pool of people that can buy a more expensive product is literally just mathematically less people. Now, sometimes that doesn't matter because one person that's willing to pay whatever price and has unlimited money, they could supply a whole market, right? Like So there are exceptions to all of these things, but there are less buyers. There might be enough money out there to consume $1,000 Lost Origin boxes, but there's less humans. There's less actual people that are able to buy that product. And that's why when I see what kind of sparked this video, what I wanted to make is because I see a lot of people saying that Brilliant Stars at 500 is a good buy. Silver Tempest at 500 is a good buy. Lost Origins at $700, $800, $900 is a good buy. And yeah, maybe it is in the next 6, 12, 18 months. Could this product go up in price? I think it's possible. I think it's likely. I do think that most of these Sword and Shield booster boxes will be 1,000 plus, especially in the later half of the era. $1,500, $2,000 a box. I definitely see that happening. But again, if you walk into an LGS store or go to an event, you are going to take a haircut on that price. You are going to not be able to sell that to every single table at an event. You are only going to have a smaller portion of buyers. Now, again, those portions of buyers may have just ungodly amounts of money, so it doesn't really matter, but you will have less opportunities to sell products that are more expensive. It's that simple to me. So would I like a Brilliant Stars booster box for $500? I guess. Maybe it goes to 1,000. Maybe it goes to 1,000 sooner rather than later. But what would I rather put my money in? Boxes that haven't seen this type of growth and are still in that affordability window for most Pokemon hobbyists and consumers. So if we go back over here to Surging Sparks, do I think that Surging Sparks can 3 or 4x to $1,000 in the next year, 2 years, 3 years? I do. Do I think that this could get to $1,000 in the next year, 2 years, 3 years? Sure. But we're already at 500. So if you invest 500 here and it goes to 1,000, great, you doubled your money. But if you invest 500 here and it goes to 1,000, you've now 4x'd your money. That's just some of the things I'm thinking about. I know Surging Sparks is still in print, Brilliant Stars isn't in print, yada, yada, yada. But I don't know if you're holding for, a decade, or you're going to give it to your kids and your lineage and you're going to be buried with it and you're holding on as long as everyone says they are. Does it really matter if Brilliant Stars came out a year, 2, 3 before Surging Sparks? In 20 years, is that going to matter? I guess that kind of goes against the whole point of liquidity. If these are just super expensive boxes in 10 years, then how liquid are they going to be? I mean, you can just see. It's so obvious. In the last 3 months, look at these buys. 10-ish boxes a day. So, something like that, right? 8, 5, 4, 5, 3, 14. 30. So, over here, I wouldn't be surprised if we have a couple sales a week. Let's see. 5 on the 19th. Well, this is the Pokemon YouTubers talking about it, plus the 10% fall. So we have a little bit more liquidity there. But I mean, look, these, it's just a box, 2, 3 a day. So you can see the liquidity is not there for these products. I mean, people would like you to think that this is the most liquid stuff. It's just not. It's just not. People aren't every day buying $500 booster boxes. They're not. Are there some big money out there that are willing to buy this if you offer it to them for $400 and they'll buy an unlimited amount? Sure. But again, that is a liquidity issue. Simple as that. Am I crazy? Am I geeking? Am I an absolute goofy for thinking that people don't just, I mean, the average American does not have $500 in their bank account, right? I mean, sure, a lot of people are in debt, but the average American doesn't have 500 fiat liquid dollars to spend on an emergency. I think that actually went down. I think it was 600 a couple years ago, and now it's under 450. The average American. So I get it. We're all goofy. We're all going into debt. Everyone, debt. And let's just print more money. And I'm all for getting out of fiat currency into assets. But you got to be very smart about the way you do this kind of stuff. This is, treating Pokemon like an asset, like an investable. You got to be very sharp. You have to have your own conviction. You can't be listening to what everyone's telling you on the internet. You got to play within your means. You got to be smart about it, and you got to start to understand different things. The idea of liquidity is one of the most basic. And you can watch your chart boys. Everyone's watching a chart every day, and they can throw out different terms to you and stuff like that. And you can think it's goofy, but if you're treating this like an asset, you're treating it like an investment. You should be doing this kind of analysis. Anyway, appreciate y'all stopping by. I know it's probably what I said is going to rub some people the wrong way. Maybe they just think about it differently. Maybe they just have different ideas. That's all good and fine. This is just what I'm thinking right now. Could my mindset change, down the line, a few months, a few years? Sure. If you want to convince me in the comments that I'm a goofy and you want me to change my mindset, that's great. Other than that, let me know what you guys think. I appreciate y'all stopping by. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.